Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. After the lunch, I think there is a good vibes to all of you here. So we have this session for tech and future engagement activities in events and activation experiences. So first of all, I will start with Viral. Viral is in this business from last odd 22 years, and they formed Sand Network in 2018, and till now they have done more than 1,200 different kind of activity and events and projects globally and pan India. Uh, I will introduce Viral from MintLab. Yeah, over to you, Viral.
Thank you. Thank you. So, hello everyone. Like you said, name is Viral. We go to try and cover up a lot of basics to kind of advanced details that you can understand on the interactive tech bit. These tech generally are used at events, stalls, exhibition spaces, and all of that. So yeah, let me switch over to a video, and I'll try and show you where we started from and how could you incorporate this on events and stall spaces. We'll keep pausing the video in between to try and deep dive in and elaborate into how these tech can be used on projects and what all other output we can expect. Yeah, let's start with the video on basic touchscreens first. So that's a basic touchscreen evaluation that you can do here, where it's a basic window. Moving on to a touch wall output, I'll pause here, where we have a sensor on top and we have a projector here. These are ultra short throw projectors, hence the shadow are very less. So what happens is when somebody tries to touch, like you saw the earlier touchscreen TV to a regular touchscreen wall, the regular wall can be made into a touchscreen TV by just having a IR sensor, which works on a interference level. So when you put a finger in front of the on the projection, your outputs can be easily seen. So let's play the video. So that's a basic understanding on how the output looks like when you press on something and the interactions can happen. Here there are no sensors kept behind the ball. Pause. So here we can see a person holding a slingshot device at bottom right corner. Now what happens here is there's a screen in front. He's having a slingshot device with him. The slingshot is nothing but a wooden frame which has like a mobile phone embedded on it, and they are connected via local network sensors. So what happens is you select what product or feature do you want to launch. When you play the video, you'll see that he clicks on an option. Pause. On the left corner on the screen, you can see a circle. That's kind of a mark where he will hit on the screen. So this can be gamified as well. And in this case, we use it to typically launch a product as well, or a feature in this case. So he selected a feature, the circle appeared on screen, he did a gesture of hitting it on screen, the glass broke and the feature revealed. Pause. So that's how you can literally have a sensor being used like a slingshot to have an output to reveal a feature or a product. Now this can be used by your MD, CEO, VP, whoever to get your outputs right on the main screen. So instead of like from a touch screen to a sensor to reveal a particular product, this could be used as well. Okay, play. That's something we did for cornering Gorilla Glass. Suppose this is like a 18 feet by 3.5 feet interactive projector. So what happens in this case is we have like a sensor which is kept behind the black box. You can see a black square that you can see here. So the gray part you see is a vinyl. The black part is printed, and the white dots you can see they are via projection. So here in this case, there are 3 different projectors kept because each projector can give you a 6 by 3.15 feet of interactive projection. So what we did here is to continue a timeline feature, we had a black box being kept at multiple places. There are 2 by 2 inches paper slim sensors kept or placed behind the black box. So when you touch the black box, the feature or a content is played back. Play. So like you see here, pressed on here, content is revealed. So touch mechanisms can be used differently in different scenarios as well. Okay, pause. Like you see in this case, there is a question asked to the audience that example in this case, what do you want in your next cornering Gorilla Glass? You want a better scratch or a better drop? So here in this case, we used it for a dynamic graph creation as well, where example, I am the first person, I click on scratch, the graph goes to 100. The second person comes in, he clicks on the drop, the graph goes 50-50. So here you saw that interactive mediums can also be used to collect anonymous data from people as well, instead of just playing back or showing the content that you can look at. Yeah. Going forward from touch, we can have a gesture interaction like you see here, right? Where we can have open palm to close palm. When you have a palm held out and you do it a gesture like a wrist and you put it back, the sensor or the it tracks your palm and it goes inside a menu or comes out of a menu. Okay, pause. So what happens in this case is the person is very close. Go back. The person is very close to a television. Hence, we use something called as a leap sensor. These sensors work on an inverted V formation, and then you can hold your palm out where the sensor is kept below. The logic is simple that when you have a smaller screen, you're very close to the television to see the kind of content. Or this can be placed on a pedestal where you can hold your hand out and you can keep moving a gesture from open palm to close palm to go inside a menu or to come out of a menu as well. And you can keep browsing through different kinds of content or menu options as well in this case. So you saw here he's facing the TV very close. The sensor is right here. These sensors are 4 inches by 2 by 1 inch approximately. So what happens is these sensors are very sensitive to light. So these cannot be used outdoor. Infrared lights affect these highly. So you can have it in a closed environment or a room of sorts where light is not directly falling on the sensor. That is what logically you should look at on an option. Now there are multiple different sensors which will go through for gesture control mechanisms as well. This is just one of them. Okay, play. So observe his hand very closely. Now here you see, okay, pause. This we did for Toyota, where it was meant that I am committed to achieve my business target of 2019. That was the year we did this in. Now here what happens is we have a person coming in. Option 1, we have a data with us. We can have the person select what he wants to, or his name rather in this case, and then go on to this screen where he signs and submit. Option 2, we can capture data real time at the venue as well. For example, I type my name, I get my photograph clicked, and then I go on to this screen. So variation is possible where you have pre-registered guest to on-site guest as well. The data could be captured. In this case, data was pre-registered given to us. His name you can see, his photographs, and then he signed on a particular system. And then play. And we had a submit button, which eventually led on to a next screen. And you swipe, pause, it goes on to main screen instantly. That meant it went offline real time. So what happens is your audience on ground can see the outputs as well, and people can understand that these people have committed to a target. Now this could be used like a pledge wall, could be used on a LED projector, TV as well. So the mediums could be any. It's just a HDMI output for us on a reference base, and this does not require internet to showcase your content. So the best part is you could have something like this where you can sign, where you can type a feedback, you can have a drop down to select your pledge, and your outputs can still be possible. Yeah, play. Going forward, people are wearing goggles. The television is white. Through goggles, you can see the content. So here in this case, what happens is you could use it differently by giving client concepts. By that I mean you can say that look at the world through our eyes. If there's a developer as a client, you can say look at how we built the system for you. It could be how our supply chain works and how do we bring quality products to you, quality projects to you. You could also have maybe headphones kept wirelessly so that maybe just a scenario here, a building for example, a construction worker could just say, मैंने इस project में जान लगा दी, for example. And then when you wear two glasses, you can see that this is how we have brought you a quality project for you to evaluate. So that's a kind of various mechanism or options which you can evaluate. Here what we did is low budget option. We directly connected a Xbox to a television. Single player game. He wears the glasses and plays the content. Two player into two people together. So example, me along with somebody. He wears glasses. I have a controller. So he keeps guiding me on going the car forward, going the car left, right. And similarly, there's someone else as a thing as well. So that two people playing. Instead of that, we have four people playing in this case. So again, low budget options could be tweaked, customized to match your uniqueness on the project. Okay. Going forward, play. This is called augmented reality. Pause. In this section, you can see the physical car at the back and through a tablet you can see augmented reality outputs mapped to a particular car. Now here in this case the idea was to focus on the safety frame where you can see the object is mapped in 3D to a particular car. This is called augmented reality mapping. Play. Pause. Now here you can see there is a sunboard which has a paw print. This was done for Royal Canin where you typically have a AR marker. We use the dog's paw print as a marker. The center multiple dots you see are actual kibbles or product that we stuck onto a sunboard. There are multiple sunboards to reveal or show different kinds of products that Royal Canin as a company has. This was the event for top 100 vets of India. Okay, play. So since there are multiple sunboards, you can see behind my table. Pause. So he kept the sunboard or kept it in a shelf or a slit, and the tablet scanned the AR marker, and the output is seen on the TV. So what happens here is when you play the video, we can have a object being scanned, product pack shot being revealed, and USP of the product being revealed as well. So this is called like a marker-based augmented reality, where your content can play back through a medium, which is a paper, sunboard, or whatever. It's an image tracking system, right? Okay, play. Going forward, here Mahindra asked us to have a tractor on screen. Yes, the content was predefined in Royal Canin. So we had, example, we had 5 different sunboards. So each sunboard had different content assigned to it. So whichever sunboard you insert in a slit, that particular product pack shot was revealed. So I'll come to that, but then the point is, if AI understands it differently, your corporates may not like it. AI needs to be trained accordingly if the object is not mapped accordingly. Yeah. Okay. Going forward, here you can see the people seated. There's a screen in front. The person on stage is holding a tablet. We have mapped the tablet to cast on a laptop and HDMI output onto a bigger screen. That's how we're using a system here in this case. Okay, play. Pause. So this is the stage area where we are tracking the floor. It's called like a spatial augmented reality where you map the floor. And okay, play. Floor is mapped, 3D object is revealed. Now this also again could be made interactive like this, where you have buttons and you can play back the content here. Yeah. Okay. This was it for Colgate, where we had 1,200 people attending an event, and everybody was given RFID bands. So everybody had to literally tap onto a RFID podium, and each individual attending the conference was individually welcomed on the main screen. So you can have different bands being given and the output could be mapped accordingly. These are again predefined, pre-assigned. People who are on-site delegates, they are again mapped before a RFID band is given to them. That's again how you can use these RFID bands, wristbands, cards, however you want to use a different kind of hardware according to RFID. Play. So holographic fans, these come in 35 centimeters to 6 feet diameter. The 6 feet diameter ones have a HDMI input as well. So what happens is your laptop output can also go on a kind of a holographic fan, and otherwise you can have a predefined content on a memory card as a playback option. Yeah. Okay. Play. So what I mentioned earlier, that you can capture a photo on ground, you can write your name, you can get a feedback collection done, and you can again swipe it on to go onto a bigger screen instantly. Pause. That's something we call like a mini-me, where the same person is in the photo multiple times. People use these to pan the camera of your phone to a particular length, and that's how your elongated photo is generally received on regular phones these days. This proprietary technology that we've developed on कि 16 by 9 का output proper मिल जाता है, where you can have like a printout being given or a WhatsApp being given to people as well without saving their number on our devices. So it goes on to our server and then directly goes on to the person in under 10 seconds. So Example, pose 1, click, pose 2, click, pose 3, click. Okay, type in the number, send to WhatsApp. It's that direct on how the system can work. And this all happens in under 10 seconds, right? Okay, play. Then there are different kinds of standard photo booth options. Just keep playing. GIF booths. There are different kind of chroma booths where you can have background and foreground being mapped. That's a concept-based thing where you have a camera on top. These are again different anti-gravity photo booth options, mosaic photo booth options. First, this mosaic photo booth option, you can even have a setup or a system being built where you can use a single tablet or a mobile device to capture multiple audience coming onto a kiosk and then the mosaic wall being built, option 1. Or option 2, where you can have people using their own devices going onto a browser link page, capturing their photograph and submitting it, and can still fill up your mosaic wall on the main screen. So this could be your activity in the beginning of the event as well for 15 minutes. People attend a particular session, they take out their phone, scan a QR code, go onto a web link, capture the photograph and submit. That can also start the event with a theme reveal, or could be like a logo, or could be formation of a content that you want, whatever you may evaluate on a launch sequence or a project start and an event. Okay, switch to the next video. So going forward, these were the tech until now as options, where these were simplified tech options. Keep playing. So now these are the ones which are new later in the trend. These are what people are doing these days. That's how we start on the new front. Audio number. So something like an AI host, for example. So here there are physical MCs on stage. Pause. This is where we have a AI character on screen. Now here what happens is we do not use actual AI in this case. We have a physical MC at the background of the stage as well, and we can capture the person's eyes, cheeks, lips and head movement as well. So it's an actual person at the background who can talk in a different audio, and the output can be seen on the bigger screen like this. So people feel as an audience that it's actually an AI character, whereas it is not an actual AI character. It's just a 3D morph kind of character wherein it reacts to you on your voice. So again, we did an event for a brand wherein 2000 audience were there, and the entire show was hosted by an AI character, but it was actually a person at the background seated like that. Yeah. Okay. Play. Then there is a standard common term. I'll not pause on that. It's an AI photo booth where we can have multiple options being given, and the output will be given by QR code as well. This is called augmented reality photo booth, pause, where you can have people posing along with the MD, VP, CEO as well, and they can select whom they want to pose with, and they can have an output also. Okay. It's a simple basic caricature booth where you don't have budgets. This could be again one of the options that output can be given. Pause. Here you can see that I'm standing. The face is a pixel animation kind of a character, and it's played back on a holographic box. We call it holo portal in that, on a global level. They call it that way. It's a hardware. There's nothing but a transparent TV which showcases content, and there's light at the back. That's what it appears holographic to you, and that's a placement matters on the holographic output. Playback. Is what we call like a magazine booth. Setup of Mini-Me is okay. People pause. Yes. Want to give it, Kapil?
So it's a circular shaped photo booth, and so we have to show a lot of version of a person, and it should be revolving. So basically, if you stand how your 360 photo booth used to work, where you used to have a camera over here and the platform used to revolve. So here the background is evolving, and the idea here is that one person has multiple personalities, not even personalities, one person has multiple versions of themselves. So that's the idea of the photo booth. So can that be generated through AI? For example, if I want that person's different kind of versions to have their face morphed in that, can that be possible?
Technically, no.
technically no.
Because you have just one output being given to an avatar, and if you have multiple of them, how would you swap around multiple faces?
Okay.
And if you have a single image, your output may not be that sharp, crisp, visible to an audience as well.
Okay.
So while I can put your face onto multiple characters and give you different kind of output, they may not be sharp enough to be observed on a particular mobile device. So when you said rotation to a particular thing, that's where I have an apprehension that this may not be possible. On a static single photo booth, possible, can be done. Rotation, revolution, you need a 3D to be incorporated, which may not be done real time. So that's a kind of, yeah. Okay, we'll play. We'll turn the mic off. Play. That's a kind of photo booth where we have a mobile phone. We click 3 times and output already ready as a mini photo booth option. It's a regular standard photo booth. It's another reference of your swipe to share where you can have a photo being captured, a signature being done, and you swipe it on to go onto a main screen instantly. Okay, pause. Here you can see the screen is bigger, hence sensor is different, where you are standing at least 6 to 8 feet away from the bigger screen. So your hand is held out like an Iron Man effect, where you move your hand in this case. It is not held against the sensor facing the or on the podium. It's kept facing the camera on the person. So when you move your hand left to right, play, that's where the content keeps shifting. So there are different kinds of sensors to be used for different kinds of situations. Like you see here, a smaller sensor was used. Earlier, a bigger sensor was used. This is one of kind of product launch option where you can use you can have a cube being there where you keep your hand on it. This is actually a rigged thing. It's not a interactive or touch-based cube. Somebody at the back end is triggering a content for lights to move. When they reach the screen, the product launch happens and the content is played back. So just one way of interactive that you can launch the project option as well. This is what we did for NPCI at the FinTech Fest, where we actually built a 120-pager application in less than 2 days. So that's the kind of thing that we did. Here was this touching on the screen below, that's a touch screen, and the output is seen on the bigger screen in front. So when he presses the button, play, the content on the bigger screen changes. So you can do a 2-screen interaction as well. This is what we call like a object action TV, where object is kept was on the TV and the content can be played back. So here we can have product options in PDF, in text or in images form as well. Here what happens is the black circle you see below, that's actually a sensor. So when you keep a product on the sensor and the sensor is kept on the television, the TV understands which sensor is kept and relevant content is played back. Now, entire interface can be customized to have a full screen playback of a video or to show you options like these where you can actually rotate or move the object around to select what content you want to play back. You want to go through some textual content, you want to have a scrolling effect of a text with the images, you want to browse to multiple videos, you want to play a video full screen, all of it is possible. So say for example, I change this video or a product out and bring some other product in, that content can be played back. So you can have different kinds of product being kept on a television to trigger relevant content instead of a touch screen or a gesture based option as well. Okay, play. We typically the only ones to have a VR cricket with a leaderboard that you can evaluate was where your content also is incorporated in the VR cricket along with your logo, along with your videos as well without the audio, because the commentary also is AI driven. So depending on what score you get, your commentary can be changed accordingly as well. And we can have a leaderboard, say example Bombay versus Delhi, and that also can happen in a cricket match where Bombay is playing separately, Delhi is playing separately as well. That also could be an option for playing back a VR cricket like this. Okay, play. That's again a gesture-based game where objects can be keep falling down and you just keep collecting them. We used buzzer systems to have a rapid response mechanism here, where the light of buzzer is clicked on and the content or the score is received. This again a catch the bait in, where again speed is important here in this case. Because here you can see a sunboard being inserted onto a slit, and that will play back relevant content. So imagine there are multiple sunboards which you have. It could be a, say example, a developer which has multiple elevations of a building or multiple projects. So depending on which building you want to get the project information on, you insert that sunboard into a slot and the content can play back. The sensors is actually 4" by 6" only. So then, depending on how you want to use it on a sunboard, it can be 1 feet as well of a sunboard, or it could be smaller or bigger as well. Yeah, play. So it inserts it and the content triggers. When you change the sunboard, your content will change automatically. First, that's a 4" cube. Depending on which side of the cube you place on the podium, relevant video will play back on the bigger screen. So 6 sides depending on, and you have a brand video playing in loop. But when you place the cube on the podium, that content can play back. So there could be multiple cubes used on a single podium as well to play back different kinds of options. So say example, you have 3 different cubes for 3 different products, single screen, and one product you have 6 features. You can use all of it to play back those 6 videos as well. Yep, play. This is what we call a step-up sensor, where you use 1 mm rubber mat. The sensors are embedded to keep jogging and your graph keeps increasing accordingly as well. That's another way where you can touch the flex and the content can play back on the TV. That's a QR code based system where you can just scan your QR code on a tablet or mobile phone or a QR code scanner, and you could have a personalized welcome on the bigger TV as well. Yeah. Change the video next. So until now we saw basics of interactive options, where we started from a touch screen to a gesture content to augmented reality to all of that proximity sensor based thing as well. Now a different video or different kinds of medium that people use these days, apart from a regular television, we can see a circular TV here. So we've got this as well. It's a 24" television with all-in-one TV. So this could be used via touch interactive system as well. Play, where you touch the menu and the video can play back on a bigger LED wall or a TV as well. Just pause. So you saw the system where a touch led to a content playback. You saw 2 different TVs being used regularly. Here, what we did is, what the research did is, they mounted the circle TV on the LED wall to play back the content on the bigger LED wall. It's again a different way of attraction point at a stall, or to just get more people and get more eyeballs on the stall. Display. Okay. Going for, correct. Nahi. So this is a LED wall जहाँ पे 2 of the tiles were taken out, and you mount the circle TV on the LED wall, or those mounts are kept there, and you can play back content. So this TV is an all-in-one television as well. So this has a HDMI out and a HDMI in also. So here you can use this same system, connect the HDMI wire for the LED wall, and content can play.
But that is customization, correct?
Yes.
Fully customization. And you have this.
Yes, we have this.
Thanks.
Okay, go next. Now coming on to something called as a transparent touchscreen display. Play. So we've got these systems as well, where a 30" TV or a 55" TV can also be used. These are actually transparent. They are touch interactive. They are half an inch thick. Now these systems are generally used in stores or in exhibitions where you want to have content being played or on a center of a stall, to not see it's blocking the space. Visual perception is bigger that way also. You can have a physical product kept behind the transparent TV as well, and based on your touch, your rotor mechanisms can come into play to move the object and play back content. So to a person seeing in front of transparent TV, it appears as if he's seeing the physical product and playing back content also. So you could mix and match various sensors with the transparent TV to play back content as well. This could also be used for a launch mechanism also, where you touch a transparent TV and content could be revealed, and that could also be happening. Okay. That's something we call a hollow tube. We've got multiple of these. These are 5.5 inches in height. you can play back content. When you insert it in a slot, that's how your video can play back on the bigger LED wall. So there are again different kinds of mechanisms which again we can use: interactive, RFID, touch based. Here we're using holographic mechanisms to play back content and for the audience to select which content they want to play back on. So play again. Just play the same video again, previous. Okay. So here you see there are multiple kinds of options on products that are kept here. He lifts, inserts it, the light triggers, and the video plays back. That's again one way of utilizing the holographic tubes as well. Now, there are different, you could even use it to particularly launch product as well. Say there are 4 or 5 different podiums. 5 people walk in with 5 different holo tubes. They just place their particular holo tube in a particular podium and the content behind them start lighting up. So there are various ideas which we can co-create and we can have a launch mechanism built with these technologies as well. The 5.5 inches ones are battery operated. So that's how you can also move around on stage or come on stage along with the holo tube being functional as well. Go to next video. These are different sizes of holo tubes available. The left one, extreme left one is 5.5 inches, that is battery operated, 6.5 inch, 10 inches and 24 inches. That's the kind of hardware that we have available. 24 inches has HDMI input also. So there are typically multiple ways in which you can actually have an interactive option being built around and your functionalities can be seen. Yeah. Now you can also have holographic tubes being used to typically trigger a content as well. Say example, these holo tubes are kept on a table, and where people enter, there are table numbers played back on the holo tubes. And then when the product launch happens, we trigger a launch mechanism to have the table revealing the kind of uniformity of the creativity as well. And video can play back on the main screen and on the holo tube as well. So there are different ways in which you can trigger the content wirelessly. Okay, play the video where it triggers a button and the content can play back on all holo tubes simultaneously as well. So that's also one of the ways in which you can trigger or play back content, and this could be used. Play it again. These are again HD format MP4 videos in vertical. Yeah. Okay, next. Now that's something what I call like a AI human, that we call it, on a transparent screen. Play back.
Hello, can you let us know about how you can assist us?
So just pause. The audio is not audible, I guess, but the point is, the lady here pressed a button. She asked a question via voice, and the transparent TV, the AI character, actually has a Chat GPT or Gemini at the back end, and we've trained the AI model as well. So based on your question, the AI character can respond to you also. So it's a word file at the back end through which we can train the AI model. Every answer could be different. So when somebody asks a question, it could be any random question as well pertaining to the product. The AI will evaluate what response to give, and based on that, it automatically responds to it. So the risk here also is that when people actually ask something vague, say for example, who is the president of India, prime minister of India? So if they ask a particular question, the AI will respond to generic information. But for example, if you ask it, what's the weather in Delhi like or in Mumbai like, it might tell you, okay, refer to Google and see your answer. That's a specific information because ChatGPT also is built on a particular year or date as to. It will not give you current information. So if you ask it a previous information, it can definitely reveal onto you. That means there's a risk as well when you ask a question about competition, it might give you information. In case if you ask, who is better, say example, Tata or Godrej, for example, it might say Godrej on Tata event as well. So that is always a risk which you should keep in mind. So there's something called as guardrails where you can bind the AI character to a particular data set as well. but then that's a very expensive affair also. So subject to the kind of wanting to spend as a client, we can have a guardrail being set up, and then the information is limited only to what you feed the AI character with. So AI will respond only to information is subjected to. Generally, with this kind of an option, you have a voice playback or a voice response mechanism being built. You can also evaluate an option where it can literally show you a particular image as well. So say example, you have a decathlon store. Somebody walks into a store and then you can ask, where can I find yoga mat, for example. So then the AI character can respond saying, yeah, the yoga mats are kept in this aisle. This is the price for it. That's how you can see the yoga mat in front of it. So AI character can show you an image of it as well. So if you have a touch screen at Decathlon, people can browse through that as well. So there are multiple ways in which you can use the AI character to maybe showcase information, ask questions, lead on to a sale from a reference point of a aspiration being built also. So a reference point is very important on how you want to use the AI character to show you relevant content as well. Yeah, just play the video again.
Hey there, at MintLabs,
Can you let us know about how you can assist us?
Like I said, we can use ChatGPT and Gemini both. For now, both can be used. Both have APIs available which we can mix on. For now, or as of yesterday, no, we need to just check on what updates are happening. Now, based on different kinds of AI that are available these days, we can understand if they have an API which we can integrate, can do that as well. So both like multiple AIs have data sets. Depending on data set which you use, we can evaluate what a response can be. So like I said, each response can be different on what the AI character could reply based on the backend that you use. Which definitely. So these are not supposed to be built and directly deployed. We do a test, multiple test with the client as well. Think on variety of combination what the audience may ask you, and then we try and confirm that this is one that we want to use onto. A lot of clients may have information which they do not want to send on to AI. That's not allowed as per compliance also. So depending on that, we can validate. Do you want to use the AI as an option? Which AI is okay with them to be used? For example, people don't prefer Zoom, prefer Teams sometimes. So again, some people prefer Gemini and not ChatGPT. It really depends on from client to client what they're comfortable with and if they're comfortable using like this something like this also. Yeah. Cool. Any other questions that we have? So yeah, go on. Or they can come here for now and they can. Yeah. Sure. But try. Sure.
This was to an earlier glasses idea which
Yes.
you presented.
Yes.
How does that work?
So it's something called as a polarized vision, where it's a LCD
The glasses
monitor.
are polarized.
It's a LCD monitor where you remove
Understood.
the polarized film, and so typically you can only see a white screen in front,
Understood.
and you use
So
polarized
there
glasses.
is technically no tech in the glasses, it's polarized.
Client को बेचने के लिए tech है.
नहीं नहीं fair for my understanding.
So yeah, so we can literally connect the HDMI cable, and that's how your output could be. So in a literal sense, the agency should know on how it functions, so you can recommend better ideas and in a concept phase as well. So that's the simplest kind of that you can think on. Now this size is just 40 to 50 inches max. Cannot go beyond that size because LCD से ऊपर आता ही नहीं. That way.
I have another question. The AIMC that you talked us
Yes.
through, right? That's more of a AIMC which is in the back.
Yes.
No, on the screen.
Yes.
Can we use hologram there and make a MC who is like walking on the stage and talking, and who is already connected with the MC who is in the back end?
So to answer your question, technically possible? Yes, possible. How you could do that? You could build a green room at the back. You could just key out the chroma, and you could have a system being built where it's called a pepper ghost projection. So you used a different kind of medium glass, acrylic or whatever on an inclined 45-degree angle. Your projector projects it on the floor. A reflective foil projects it back onto the glass, and that's how holographic thing appears.
And that can be real time.
Yes, because it's essentially a HDMI output going on to a projection medium. So we could have the person being captured with a body tracking mechanism. We could replace his body with a different character, and then that character could be displayed onto a holographic projection system as well.
Okay.
So we've done these kind of systems where we've actually mapped it for Sony TV, where we actually had a kind of a armor being kept onto a person's body while he was walking. So that's again multiple different options which you can see. Here in this case, we are tracking his body. It's a Kinect sensor. So when you have a Kinect sensor, you can map it from head to toe, and your motion could be captured left to right and front as well. It could not turn around. System doesn't understand if you're facing it or it's behind you. So you can have a walking towards it, you can have left to right to left, but you cannot go back. System will not understand that it's your face or it's your back of the head. So that's a difference between understanding on what sensor can be used and how it will work. Because apart from that, you could use a very expensive medium called a mocap. It's a motion capture system, and a different kind of Z cams that are available, which then track your body in full 360. That's again subject to the kind of space available, the kind of budgets you may have, the kind of 3D assets you can create, and then it can track your back as well. So when you have a AI character being used, you can either have a front and side for low cost options, and if you have budgets, we can go on to 3D and do Z cams as well. Yeah, technically possible, yes, possible, but yeah, these are the pros and cons on what sensor you can evaluate on this thing.
So currently we have designed a campaign. We are struggling with the production. Okay. So this how like 3D glasses, blue and red glasses, you wear them and then
Yes.
you get the 3D image.
Yes.
So currently we have an image like imagine this is image of a farm.
Yes.
Okay, it's a crop.
Yes.
And the idea is the moment you put that glasses on your face, you get a better crop. You see the yield is better, the tweaks are better. So the printer is not being able to execute that. But if you want to do it digitally,
So I'll tell you, I'll answer that question for you. So when you have a red and blue content, that's called anaglyph content. So in typically we did a show yesterday for Pfizer on the same launch where we had red and blue option on a LED wall. So what happens in this case is if you wear red glasses, the red merges with your glass and only the blue content is visible.
Okay.
And the same thing happens if we do blue glasses. The blue content gets merged and the red content is visible. That's how we can use anaglyph content. In this case, what you're asking for, we can use a polarized film, but then the output still remains white as a medium.
yeah,
So when you have a cropped field being seen, that's something that is to be evaluated, where you can have like a motorized mechanism where you have a film coming from bottom to top and a static image being seen in front of television.
So I have a very old school solution to this. Like you remember how the projectors were using that you put the slides. So how the when you go for your eye checkup, they put the number one after another. We can do that, but can we achieve that digitally? Like
no.
No.
To answer the question, possible, not possible.
Okay.
So you mentioned was slides. You can use that in a motorized format. So you can have slide 1, slide 2, slide 3 appearing.
Yeah.
But then still, depending on how far the audience is, your visual parallax effect will come into play. Which means person sitting at the extreme right may not see the same as on the left or in the center. So depending on what's your gap between your television, the film, and the audience, you will see a parallax effect coming into play.
Okay, I think Meet has already discussed, but I spoke to few printers, like they have some solutions. Right after the meeting,
Sure,
maybe
we could
5-10
again
minutes,
discuss
I
it
want to
after the
discuss
meeting
that
for sure.
because if we can do that, like the red material, Stephen Sigmeister, if you know of him, he patented that product. Okay, you can't use that red material without his consent. So if we can achieve that, we can patent this the entire exercise. So
Sure.
I'm being hopeful. So if you can do that, this will and go because everyone's saying no. People are saying we can break into 4 color. At max, we can go to 5 color. Like National Geographic magazine is getting printed.
Yes.
The yellow color is the 5th color. So we said 5th or 6th color we can achieve. But this particular the yield we can show. We can show the outlines. So
Correct. Line artwork definitely is possible.
yeah, he said line artwork we can show, but
Correct.
we can't show the extra yield.
The reason is the merging of colors between to
Yeah.
what I mentioned that blue merge
I'll
red
be,
दिखेगा.
we'll be really happy you can like crack this thing. It will be good for us. Yeah.
No,
Thank you.
sure. Let's see what we can do next. Any more questions? Thought? Sure. No? Sure. So, maybe people in Delhi, in case you have questions, you can just put on the YouTube thing. People in Bombay, in case you want to come here in this room and you can come back and want to ask in person questions, can do as well. We've got 10 more minutes remaining at the max. So, yes, sure. What?
So we have thought of one idea where it's a phone wall. It's like an LED with a camera.
Mhm.
One person comes, they
Mhm.
click their picture,
Okay.
and you put a prompt on AI.
Yes.
Like imagine me in a setup of maybe basketball or
Yes.
roller casting or anything.
Yes.
Till now, I've seen one picture can come and at the same time it gets printed to you.
Yes.
In at the same time, can we show her in 4 different versions of her and get it printed at
Possible.
the same time?
Possible.
Like one picture,
Possible.
and it
Possible.
depends on the prompt.
Subject to how the prompt you want to put across, because a prompt is just one.
Hmm.
So lead to one output only. So instead of that, generally corporates prefer that we have 4 predefined templates and you can have one photo being captured and give them an option. If
So
you have
we-
a prompt, you only have one output.
So we
Single
don't.
prompt, one output.
So we don't want predefined template. Like the idea is maybe there will be 10 activities or 15 activities, and a person will come and that person will decide or select 4 activities.
Okay.
So it's not like predefined in anything. It's like they can select which, they can say which one they want.
So how do you give the option to AI? What 4 options do you want? What do I type? Put me in 4 options, one in basketball, one in cricket, one in baseball.
Yeah.
Possible.
It can be,
Can be
it's
done.
not predefined prompts which you want to work with. It will be more on discretion on them, that what
Correct.
they want to put. Also, we can decide a template, right? Like what template I want the printout to be in, right?
So
We can
here what
design
happens
the
is on a template front, it depends on the logo or the look of it on the
Yeah.
border that's set by the corporate generally. Your
exactly.
image is
We
so
can
that's a
design that
preset then, because
preset
AI will
that-
not have a good logo output for sure.
Fair.
So your background
That I
and your
understand.
photo is what you define from the prompt. Your borders or the logo get built from the template.
Okay.
So that way.
Alright.
Possible? Yes, possible.
Okay, one more thing I wanted to ask. So, for example, if I'm talking about 4 different photos over here, and if
Mhm.
I want to create like a cloud or a mood board using this, so for example, I've put prompt as I want one painter, one basketball, one tennis, one pottery. So now I want like a cloud of this, like a nice mood board of it. So, is it
It's
possible
like a
that
word cloud.
no mood board, photo mood board of it? So, is it possible that we pre-upload this template in that form and then it gets print out?
Question is unclear.
I think you need to show the reference.
I mean, I
We'll
think
talk again after the session. We'll talk and we'll deep dive into one particular pitch that you will have. So yeah. We have asked 2 others also. Sorted. Done. And we are well in time. Sorted. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Adding more value to our clients, right? That's what we are all here for, and looking forward to many more interactions.
Like, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Information.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. 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 Thank you.